11th and 12th. Sri Raja Vacha Yada Bhagavata Brahman Atita Kshirasagara Yada Bhagavata Brahman Atita Kshirasagara Yadartam Va Yataschatrim Dadaram Pur Ambucharatmana Yathamritam Surai Praptam Kim Chanyat Bhavattatah Etat Bhagavatah Karma Vadasva Param Adbhutam. Sri Raja Vacha King Parikshit inquired, Yada, as Bhagavata by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Brahman, O learned Brahman, Matita Achan Kshirsagara, the ocean of milk, Yathatam. What was the purpose? Va, either Yata, where from, for what reason? Cha and Atrim, the mountain, Mandara, Dadhara was staying. Ambuchara Atmana, in the form of a tortoise. Yatha as Amritam nectar Surai Bhajana Praptam was achieved Kim Vacha and Anyat other Avad became Tata thereafter. Etat all these Bhagavata of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karma, pastime, activities. Vadasva kindly describe Param Adbhutam because they are so wonderful. King Parikshit inquired, O great Brahman, Sukadeva Goswami. Now here 4 questions are there. Okay, he asks, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of milk? Why did he stay in the water as a tortoise and hold up Mandara mountain? How did the demigod obtain the nectar and what other things were produced from the churning of the ocean? 4 questions. Kindly describe all these wonderful activities of the Lord. Tvaya sankatyamanena mahimna sattvatam pate nati tripyati me chittam suchiram tapat aptam. Tvaya, by your holiness, sankatyamanena, being described, mahimna, by all the glories, Satvatam Pade of the Supreme Personality, the master of the devotee. This word comes in Bhagavatam many times. Satvatam Pade. Krishna is the Satvatam Pade, means he is the master or the well-wisher of the devotees. Na not atitrapyati is sufficiently satisfied. May my chittam not suchiram for such a long time. Tapavai medi tapitam this. Now, this is a very wonderful shloka. Here, Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his eagerness to hear about the Lord. This is very nice. Because when an audience is very eager to hear about the Lord, then many things will come out from this. Okay, so in between, audience should keep expressing our eagerness and our understanding, our enthusiasm. So in between, Parikshit Maharaj keeps speaking because this is 7-day and night discussion without any break for water or food or whatever, nothing, no break. Continuously started speaking and end after only 7 day and 7 night. Long discussion. So in between, Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his eagerness. So sometime he says in the previous chapters that don't think that I am hungry or thirsty. Okay, you just go on speaking about Krishna, and you may tell in short, thinking that I may have to go for water or something. Don't think I am not hungry, I am not thirsty. You just keep on speaking. I want to hear. So one may ask, why you are not hungry and thirsty? Naturally, you should be hungry and thirsty, na? So that also he is explaining. He is saying, I am not hungry and thirsty. Why? Because from your lotus lips, this nectarian Krishna Katha, the nectar of Krishna Katha is flowing continuously. I am drinking that. So because I am drinking this nectar of Krishna Katha, how may I be thirsty? My heart and my... See, I am not, it's not like I am not drinking, I am drinking nectar. That's also I am drinking nectar of Krishna Katha. So that is why I am not hungry and thirsty. So kindly continue explaining me about Krishna. The similar verse is here where he is expressing his eagerness to hear what he is saying. My heart, which is disturbed by the 3 miserable conditions of material life, is not yet sated with hearing you describe the glorious activities of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of God, who is the master of the ati, he's saying na ati tripyati. My heart is not trapyati, even satisfied. It's not like because he heard the katha which was not very good, so yeah, I'm not satisfied because it's so bad story. No, it is the other way. He's saying that it is so nice that how much I'm hearing, I'm not feeling satisfied. I want to hear more and more. Sometimes when some nice juice is there or something, even though you're full, you may feel okay anyway. No, I get it because you feel taste is so nice that you are not satisfied. You want to keep it again and again. You want to take it. So similarly, saying even though I'm hearing this much nectarian katha, but still my heart is not satisfied. I want to hear more. Okay, so kindly go on speaking. Okay, Naitripyati my chitta, my heart is not getting satiated. And why? Because my heart is always disturbed by three miserable conditions of 14th sloka. Sri Suta Vacha Samprashto Bhagavane Evam Dvaipayan Suto Dija Abhinandya Harer Vidyam Abhya Chakrame. Sri Suta Vacha, Sri Suta Goswami said, some Prishta being questioned, Bhagavan Suta Goswami Evam thus Dvaipayan Suta the son of Vyasa Dvija, O Brahmana Sakalya, Abhinandya, congratulating Maharaj Pached, Hare Vidyam, the glory of the God, Abhyachas to describe, Prachakrame, endeavor. Sri Suta Goswami said, O learned Brahmanas, assembled here at Naimisharanya, when Shukdev Goswami, the son of Daipayan, was thus questioned by the king, he congratulated the king and then endeavored to describe further the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj has asked that explain me about like why and how Lord did churn the ocean of milk, and why did he stay in the water as tortoise and hold up Mandar mountain? How did demigods obtain the nectar, and what other things were produced from the churning of the ocean? The four questions he asked. So this is directly Samudra Manthan. But Shukdev Goswami will tell little before how this situation itself came of Samudra Manthan. So this is nice story here. Once Durvasa Muni, maybe it will come. So Sri Shukra Vacha, 15th I am reading now. Sri Shukra Vacha यदा युद्धे असुरदैव बध्यमाना शितायुधै गता सवो निपत्तानोत्तेष्टेरन् पुरुषः यदा दुर्वासः शापेन सेन्द्रालोकस्त्रयो नृपा निःश्रितांश्चा भवंस्तत्र निःसृज्य यादया क्रिया. Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Shuka said, Yada when Yuddhe the fighting Asura by the Deva, the demigods Badhyamana besieged sheep Ayudhai by serpent weapons. Gat Asvaha, almost at Nipatta, some of them having fallen, not this terrain, got up against Mas, who became Purisha, the majority of them. Yada when Durvasa Shapen, the Sa Indra with Indra, Lokatraya, the three worlds, Nirpa, Nishrika without the material of Cha, also one became Patra at the time. Neshu not be performed each Adya sacrifices Kriya, ritualistic ceremony. Shukdev Goswami said when the Asuras with their serpent weapons severely attacked the demigods in a fight, many of the demigods fell and lost their lives. Indeed, they could not be revived. At that time, O king, the demigods had been cursed by Durvasa Muni. The three worlds were poverty stricken and therefore ritualistic ceremony could not be performed. The effects of this were very serious. It is described that while Durvasa Muni was passing on the road, he saw Indra on the back of his elephant. Why Durvasa cursed? What he said? Shukdev Goswami said, because Durvasa Muni cursed, because of that people lost their kingdom and the fight. They lost the battle. Okay, so why he cursed? So Durvasa Muni was passing on the road. He saw Indra on the back of his elephant and was pleased to offer Indra a garland from his own neck. Sometimes devotees will give their garland to others, which is like Mahaprasad, which has to be accepted as a great mercy. So Indra, however, being too puffed up, took the garland and without respect for Durvasa Muni, he placed it on the trunk of his carrier elephant. So he gave it to the elephant on which he was sitting. Okay. So the elephant, being an Indra, gave it, Durvasa gave to Indra. Okay. So Indra, he was so puffed up, he did not understand the value of it and he gave it to the elephant. Then elephant, being an animal, could not understand the value of the garland, and thus the elephant threw the garland between its legs and smashed it. Seeing this insulting behavior, Durvasa Muni immediately cursed Indra to be poverty-stricken, bereft of all material opulence. Thus the demigods, afflicted on one side by the fighting people and on the other by the curse of Durvasa Muni, lost all the material opulences in the worlds. They lost everything. That's why we have to be very careful. We should not be proud of anything. If we are having so much knowledge, so much wealth, so much beauty, or whatever it may be, nice birth, or any qualities, we should not be puffed up. Otherwise, sometimes it may become a problem. Now, Indra was so puffed up, he got cursed, everything lost. To be extremely opulent in materialistic advancement is sometimes very risky. The materially opulent person does not care about anyone, and thus he commits offenses to great personalities such as devotees and great saints. This is the way of material opulence, as described by Shuddha Goswami. Dhana dharma durmanda dha. Too much wealth makes one blind. This happens even to Indra in his heavenly kingdom. That's why Vedic system is one should not accumulate too much wealth. Whatever is needed, that much one should accumulate, and rest, if it comes, they should distribute or give in charity or like that. And what to speak of others in this material? Even Indra is getting puffed up. Indra got problem. Na? So normal people, anyway, they can. What to speak of them? So when one is materially opulent, he should learn to be sober and well behaved toward Vaishnavas and saintly persons. Otherwise, he will fall down. Generally, when somebody is opulent, they should be like this, humble, and they should respect the devotees and Vaishnavas and all the sadhus and persons. Okay. Generally, if good qualities are there, people should be vinamra. Okay, Nishamyatat Suragana Mahendra Varunadaya Na Nadigachan Swayam Mantrayanto Vinishitam Tato Brahma Sabham Jagmur Sarvasha Sarvam Vidyapayam Chakru Pranata Parmeshine Nisham hearing it this incident Suragana all the network Mahendra King Indra Varuna Adya Varuna and other not Abhyagachan we swam personally mantrai by deliberation Mantrenta discussing Vinishitam a real temptation thereupon Brahma Sobham to the assembly of Lord Brahma Jagmu they went Mero of Sumeru mountain Murdhani on the top Sarvasa all of them Sarvam everything Vidyapayam Chakru they informed Pranata offering offered obeisances pray Parameshtine unto Lord Brahma. So now Indra and they all lost everything. One side they got cursed, another side demons attacked, everything is finished. The Lord Indra, Varuna and other demigods seeing their life in such a state consulted among themselves but they could not find any solution. They all then all the demigods assembled and went together to the peak of Sumeru mountain. They are in the assembly of Lord Brahma. They fell down to offer Lord Brahma their obeisances and then they informed him of all the incidents that had taken place. Okay, Indra did mistake out of because of that everybody lost. Now the heavenly planet is under the control of demons and they are homeless now. They are roaming here, they are hiding. So they went to Brahmaji, give some solution. Savilokyendra Vapyadina Nisatman Vigat Prabhan Lokan Mangal Prayan Surane Thavibu Samahitena Manasa Sansmaran Purusham Param Uvachothullavatano Devansa Bhagavan Paraha Saha Lord Brahma Vilokya looking over Indra Vayu Adina all demigods headed by Lord Indra and Vayu Nisatvan, bereft of all spiritual potency, Vigat Prabhan, bereft of all effort, Lokan, all the three worlds, Amangala, Prayan, Magic, Asnan, all the demons. Ayatha, flourishing Vibhu, Lord Brahma, the Supreme River, Samahitena, by full adjustment, Manasa of the mind, sons, Marena, remembering again and again, Purusham, the Supreme Person, Param Transcendent, Vaja said, Kukulla, Padna, right faith, Devan, and to the name of Sa, Bhagwan, the most powerful, Para of the demigods. Upon seeing that the demigods were bereft of all influence and strength, and that the three worlds were consequently devoid of auspiciousness, and upon seeing that the demigods were in awkward position, whereas all the demons were flourishing, Lord Brahma, who is above all the demigods, who is most powerful, concentrated his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, being encouraged, he became bright faced and spoke to the demigod as follows. After hearing from the demigods the real situation, Lord Brahma was very much concerned because the demons were unnecessarily so powerful. When demons became powerful, the entire world is placed in a awkward position because demons are simply interested in their own sense gratification and not in the welfare of the world. This is generally seen in the present days. All the demons became the powerful ministers and all, and they are enjoying their own sense gratification, and they are taking public's tax, enjoying for their sense gratification, using it for that, and public no, they are not at all giving any care to public. Demigods or devotees, they are like demons. These present days for it. The demigods or devotees, however, are concerned with the welfare of all living beings. Srila Rupa Goswami, for example, left his ministership and went to Vrindavan for the benefit of the entire world. Lokanam Karinam. Okay, not only, and see, Srila Prabhupada was also nicely settled in Vrindavan, but he went to foreign country, US and all, where so much struggle was there. No money, no food, because he is Vaishnava, he will not eat normal food, he has to get prasadam. No money, no food, no dress, no, very poor, only 40 rupee, Indian rupee he had. That also was not useful there because it was not dollar, it was 40 rupee. Okay, so and that time you see 40 rupee what will the value? It was like $7 like that. So Prabhupada went for what? Why Prabhupada took this much pain for the welfare of the society? If Prabhupada would have not taken such pain to go in that cargo ship, how could we have understood today Bhagavatam or this great science of transcendental service to Krishna? Okay, so we should be very, very, very grateful to Prabhupada every day, not only with each and every breath of our life, we should be grateful to Prabhupada for giving us this transcendental knowledge. This knowledge can help us. Actually, this knowledge is only can take us out of this material world. So Prabhupada has gave us that thing which will take us out of the material. Just think, once sit somewhere peacefully, think what Prabhupada gave us actually in the form of the books. It's not some normal book. Okay, this book can take us to Goloka. Just think what it is a passport or visa for Goloka directly. So he just gave simply. He spent many sleepless nights writing, translating, and we are not giving any care for his effort, not at all reading them. Okay, we have to read at least. And we have to be grateful each and every moment, each and every breath of our life. We have to be grateful that Prabhupada has given us. And whatever mercy we got, we have to utilize it so that we can go there. Okay. So this is the nature of a saintly person or that they work for others. Sadhu, life is not for himself. Life is for others. He's not working for himself. Right? Somehow by charity he's getting his basic needs. Out of some people will give some charity, but he himself is engaged fully in other service in many ways. So this is the great qualities of sadhu. That's why they are respected because their life itself. Some people are doing some. They are doing like out of 24 hours, 1 hour they will do social service. 2 hours they will do. Some people 8 hours will do. Some people are working in NGOs and doing some social service. right? But they are even in working in NGOs, they are getting some salary. But sadhu is not getting any salary. Okay, nothing. He just depending on some madhukari, which is called charity, and not 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 24 hours he is giving for service of society. That is why it is said that nobody can be more merciful than sadhu. And out of great mercy, he gives Krishna Katha to others, the knowledge of Krishna. Okay. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Sravana Mangalam Srimadantam Bhuviridantite Bhurida. Bhuridajana means they are the most benevolent, most benefactor of the society of the world. Who? The people who are doing this, distributing this Tavakathamritam. This Tavakathamritam. Krishna, the Amrit of Katha of Tava means Krishna. Who's Krishna's Katha Amritam, the nectar of Krishna Katha. They are distributing. And what is the result of that? Tapta Jivanam. To whom they are? Tapta Jivanam. Everybody is fired. Life is full of three tapas. Three type of miseries are there in the life. People are very much that heat of miseries. So these devotees are giving their life for distributing the Krishna Katha. They are the most benefactor, and this is the nature. This is the by nature they are doing it. They are not doing it out of something. By nature they are doing for not with the expectation that people should give something in return, but out of mercy they are giving, and out of their service to Guru and Krishna, they are giving up their life for the service of Krishna and for society. So even impersonalists think of the welfare of all people. Thus, Brahma was very much concerned at seeing the demons come. Okay, text 21 we'll do tomorrow. Now Brahmaji will speak some suggestions, some solutions for demigods. Demigods lost everything because they lost the fight with the demons, and they had already got curse from Durvasa, so that curse also did some like addition. So they lost all the opulence. They are on like no home, nothing. Okay. So they approached to Brahma. Now they are asking Brahmaji, please help, please give some solutions. So Brahmaji will give solution, which we will speak tomorrow. Thank you so much, Grantaraj, Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. If there is any quick question, you can ask. Hare Krishna. No question? Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, so tomorrow is Ekadashi. I forget to tell you. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. Whoever want to participate in 1 lakh Nam Japa, they can contact and they can join over Zoom and chant. Okay, 1 lakh Nam. That means 64 rounds. Hare Krishna.